long awaited video. Basically I keep having to put it off because I didn't get very many responses. However, I've decided to do it anyway. I'm trying out a new tripod, so if this is any better, please let me know. Also, don't take any notice of my hair or the state of my room, because I'm currently struggling quite a bit. So I don't have much motivation at this precise moment. I'm going to try get myself in the shower tonight. Not a lot of people, unless they've had really bad mental health issues, they may not understand the need of like not having no motivation. So I'm prepared for people to say, oh, you smell, or oh, your hair's really greasy, or stuff like that, or your breath really smells, but I've not really had much of a good time the last few days, and been struggling with my dissociative seizures. This video is going to be a little bit of a mix, I guess, so I'm going to give you a little update, as I had my psychiatrist appointment yesterday, which is the first time since me leaving hospital, which was in July. I had never met this consultant before, so that was quite scary. However, I'm going to give an update on that, and then I'm also going to give some of people's basically opinions of their experience, and then advice they'd give to people. So yeah. Now, I had my appointment yesterday at 3 PM, like I said, and we spoke about various things. I've been put on another medication to help me sleep, because I haven't been sleeping. Now that's called promethazine, and the dose, most people's dose is 25 grams to 50 grams a day. Now I'm on 50 grams a day, just to catch up with some sleep, and then it will be reviewed again. He reviewed some of my diagnoses, and he has agreed with my EUPD, which was diagnosed in inpatient settings. He obviously agreed with depression, anxiety, PTSD and all of that. And then because I've been diagnosed with dissociative seizures, however, where everything was so bad in inpatient, they never diagnosed me with a dissociative disorder. For my other dissociative episodes, they've mentioned that I have one and all of that, but it's fine. Gonna be, well, when I left, my care co and my psychiatrist are having a chat to decide which dissociative disorder I have. They mentioned dissociative amnesia, and I think it's dissociative movement or something else, which is basically the seizures, but the mental health diagnosis. Like, I know dissociative seizures is a mental health diagnosis, but like that's just the official name. And one thing that I'm gonna say is I feel very ashamed about, but I want to basically raise awareness and say that it's nothing to be ashamed about, because you shouldn't feel ashamed for having it. But I'm being referred back to my eating disorder services, but for this time it's for binge eat disorder. Now, it's actually quite difficult topic for me, because obviously I've previously been diagnosed with anorexia, and It's scary to think now that I'm on the other side of the spectrum. However, they've also put me under eating disorder services as they help me with my binging. They don't want me to go back to anorexic patterns, I guess. So yeah, so that's happening. I also have a CPA at the end of the month, which is going to hopefully sort some stuff out. They're trying to get me accommodation. This is called supported accommodation, and it's in the community. You get to live independently, but there are people on the site in case you need anyone, or there's people like close by. It depends which one you go to and which level of support you get at that facility, I guess. So yeah, that was just a quick update about how my appointment went. The doctor was really nice. I really struggle with meeting new people, so it was quite hard for me, and I wasn't having a very good day, so it was quite hard, but I got through it, and that's the main thing. We talked about my struggles with my paranoia at the moment, and they think it's... Sorry, I saw something on my ceiling. I was like, what? It's a dent in the ceiling. So yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. They think my paranoia is getting worse again because I haven't been sleeping, so they're hoping that that will resolve. Now I'm gonna do awareness and experience YouTube video. I've written some of it down. I'm waiting for, well, by the time you watch this, I won't be waiting for anything, but right now I'm still waiting for someone else to do their little piece. But the first person I'd like to talk about is Hannah Fights Back. Now that's her Instagram, and I'll put it here. And here's a picture of the lovely Hannah. Now, I actually miss Hannah so much. I was unit with her, and we became close, and yeah, we used to make dens, play Rummy Cub and all of that, and I'm actually going to see her on the 16th with my other best friend, Lauren South, who also has a YouTube channel. So here's her YouTube channel, wherever it is. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So this is Hannah's, I've written it down so like I'm not constantly looking at my phone or anything, but this is Hannah's, what's it called? It's not a story because it's real, but I don't know, piece of writing, I'll say. So this is in her words, none of it's my words, it's completely her words, it's what she said. I don't want to change anything. I didn't need to change anything because I think what she wrote was perfect anyway. So here it goes. The first one to talk about, wait, I said that completely wrong. The first one is to talk about ACD, bullying thoughts. I have had a voice in my head for 6 years, controlling everything I do. The reason I started to self-harm was because of this voice in my head. My life has been completely controlled by this voice until last week when I spoke out about it. I'm very proud for Hannah for speaking about it. I wish I'd talked to someone sooner, and I advise you to. Also for me, the more anxious you get, the louder the voices get. So however hard it is, distract yourself. Good advice, honestly. Make a self-soothe box or something like that, and that will help a lot because it's got things that are designed for you and designed to help you specifically. Also for me, the more anxious you get, the louder the voice. Oh, I've literally just said that. I'm not very good at reading. Well, I am, but I've written it twice in here, so you know. Sorry. Next, I want to talk about disordered eating and eating disorders. People assume you have to be stick thin to be battered with your eating, but you can have problems at any weight. I have suffered with eating problems for many years and have been on and off the NG tube. It's caused some very traumatic memories, but luckily I am on the pump now, which is less traumatic. I advise if you think you have eating problems, tell someone you trust, as you can be any weight and still be suffering. The longer you leave it, the harder it is to talk about. Thirdly, I want to talk about autism. Growing up, I felt different to everyone else and felt like I wasn't normal. I couldn't deal with my emotions. I found it hard to make friends in my first 2 admissions. Sorry, that was supposed to be a full stop. In my first 2 admissions, they didn't understand autism, as they thought I was having tantrums. I just couldn't deal with my emotions. In my 3rd admission, which was an autism speciality, they didn't treat me well as the staff weren't trained, and I was physically assaulted in restraints. My current admission seems to be actually helping, and they are teaching me about how to deal with my emotions. My advice is to accept help however it is, and if they say you have autism, however hard it is, learn to accept it, as you will get the help you deserve. In general, I don't think hospital is right, especially for people with autism, as they don't always understand you and don't really teach you the skills to survive in the outside world, which may result you ended up back in hospital. So that was Hannah's, I still don't know what to call it, I'm just going to say piece of writing. But yeah, so that's her view. Now, I'm not going to have very many people's views in here because some people don't find talking about it helps, so I'm not going to force anyone to. I'm just going to wait for Lauren to basically do hers, and then I will read hers out to you. I've now got Lauren's interpretation. If I'm looking down, I'm actually not reading it from this, which I wrote Hannah's in, but I'm reading it from my iPad. So here we go. That's Lauren South. I'll leave her thing here. This is what she said in her own words. Number 1. Mental illness is a real illness, just like cancer or another serious condition. Just because it's not a physical illness doesn't mean it's not serious. 2. Mental illnesses aren't just in your head. They have physical symptoms too, such as heart palpitations, being sick, feeling shaky, etc. Example, should I say? No. What is etc? I don't know. I may be dumb for not knowing what that means, but I know what it means, like, in my head, but I don't know what it stands for, so. Etc. maybe? I think it's etc. She said etc. There is more examples. Number 3, everyone will have feelings of depression and anxiety at some point in their life. They're natural and completely normal feelings. It doesn't mean you have a mental illness if you have these feelings. It's only if it lasts for a certain amount of time and it majorly affects your day-to-day life. My experience with mental health. I've been seen by CAMHS since I was 15 years old. My CAMHS team in the community were brilliant, but I was too unwell to stay in the community. The care I received at various CAMHS inpatient units has been brilliant, except one awful PQ. A lot of people think that CAMHS aren't very helpful, but for me they saved my life, and they are so much better than my adult services. My advice for people in my position before they go inpatient. Work with your community team as much as you can in order to stop you from going inpatient. If you're at serious risk, then yes, inpatient is the best place for you for a short amount of time. However, people must know that inpatient units are what I like to call schools for self-harm. It's where you learn new ways to self-harm from other patients, even when you're not trying to teach you. You end up watching them do something, and then the idea gets into your head to do it too. Inpatient isn't necessarily the best. Where did I get to? inpatient isn't necessarily the best option. So that was sorry, I was just looking at my iPad with the things. I just found some hilarious videos, but you know, I'm actually going to do another video on watching videos basically of my past and all of that. But anyway, what I was saying, yeah, that's Lauren's opinion. Sorry if I keep getting sidetracked. My brain's a bit everywhere right now, but yeah. So I've also got no makeup on because I can't be bothered, blah 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 blah. But you know, yeah. So that's it for today's video. Like and subscribe.